Hey, what's up? I'm Mattia Babcock, and I'm a rider biomechanic coach, and I've been doing natural horsemanship since I was 13. A while back, I did a video on the 7 basic groundwork exercises that you can do with your horse. And I got some comments from you guys that you would like to see me doing this with a horse that's just learning these basic exercises. So here it is. I'm doing these with Salty and Burlington, and this is me doing it for the first time. So you'll get to see more of what it looks like to teach a horse these games. Now, remember, this takes time to develop not only the skills in you, but also to get your horse to learn this. So be patient and enjoy. So first off here, this is Salty, and I'm starting with friendly game. Now, he's a more sensitive horse, a lot more reactive, so I chose him to do the friendly game with because you could see a little bit, like the first time I threw it over, he kind of shied away a little bit, and that's a normal reaction when you're first starting this with a horse. If they're a little bit more of an extroverted horse, they might even run away or something like that. So that's why I stand off to the side, so if they were to take off and bolt, they won't run me over in the process with this. And you can see his head is up, his ears are back a little bit, so he's a little bit worried. So the more I do this, the more he'll get used to it and get comfortable with it, and it won't be an issue. So, and that looks a little better. He kind of perked his ears up, and then this is probably the one I would start with if I was you, because with this you can do this and back away from the horse. So if they're running, you can give them some place to go, but also get them used to that friendly game. And what I'm looking for with friendly game is that they gain confidence. And like there, he's smelling my stick, he's curious. Curiosity is an awesome sign that your horse is getting more confident. And here I'm working on driving game. And driving the front end over. And the easiest way I've found to start this is by putting your hand on their neck, giving them a little bit of steady pressure to kind of get them started, and then add in the rhythmic pressure. Some horses have a lot of trouble with driving game just on its own. They'll back up like she did, or spaz out. So using that porcupine game can make it a lot easier for them to get the right idea and understand it faster. And this is what it looks like if you have a little bit of a duller horse who doesn't want to move out of the way. Just go up your phases and then tap them on the nose. That's how they're going to learn what happens before what happens, so that they learn to respond to phase 1, because they don't want to get to where you're tapping them on the nose. And this time he did it way better. And he still moved off there. I could have backed him up, but I decided just to do a hindquarter yield. The more we do this, the better he'll get with that. And then driving game for the hindquarters. You just want to tip their nose towards you slightly, and then motion towards the hindquarters. If they have trouble with this, you can tap on their hindquarters or use your string in circular motions and touch them with the end of your string if they really aren't getting the idea. And then here is moving off of steady pressure. And I just have one finger in his throat latch and one hand on his shoulder. And the phases for this are hair, skin, muscle bone. So at first I'm going to ask very lightly and then progressively get a little firmer. Now if my horse, say I get to bone and my horse still doesn't get the right idea, then I would add in some rhythmic pressure. And I'm just going to play with this till I get it light. And then for steady pressure moving the hindquarters, tip his nose towards you so that he can't swing his hindquarters towards you and kick. Tip his nose towards you and then put pressure on his hips. And this is teaching your horse to be better for leg yields, leg cues when you're riding. All of that is off of steady pressure. So that's why we want to get our horse moving off of steady pressure well. And for backing, I'm going through the 4 phases. And this is phase 3, and then phase 4 is your whole arm. And I'm just going to wiggle and flick until he takes a committed step backwards. If you watch that there, he kind of went sideways, kind of thought about going the other way, and then he took one committed step back, so I released. Now, I am going through all 4 phases for the sake of your learning. When I'm teaching a horse this, I will go to phase 1, phase 2, and then add in my stick, so that my horse can start to learn to respond to phase 1 faster. And here we're working on sideways. The easiest way to get this going is to have your horse do half a circle, or half a circle was not very good. And then you're just going to drive the front end, and he brought his hindquarters too close to me, so I stood my ground and just tapped on his hindquarters till they went away. But all sideways is moving the front end and then the back end. And he sort of got it there, he got the idea, but my goal is to get him to do it with more rhythm and flow. And he did that same thing again, so I am going to protect my space. It is not okay for him to turn his hindquarters towards me, ever. So I'm not going to allow that. And so you can see here I'm doing it a couple different ways. You can either motion towards the front end, motion towards the back end, if that helps your horse understand it when you're first teaching it. Or you can just drive and swing the carrot stick in circular motion. And then he started backing. This is a common thing. Horses don't know what to do with the pressure, so they back up. It's fine. I'm just going to ask him back up to the rail and keep driving. And that was way better. Ideally, I would like him to have a little more rhythm, but that was really, really nice for the first time. And he licked his lips. Pretty awesome. Here you see he kind of did not take me seriously with the backup. Anytime you have a problem like that, fix it up right then and there. And get your horse backing nicely. And this is getting your horse used to squeezes. So I'm asking him to go in between me and the rail, then do a hindquarter yield, and wait. And some horses have a lot of trouble with all horses are claustrophobic on some level. Some horses will blaze through, a gate or small spaces. So this is what we're getting our horse good with. We need our horse good with squeezes for jumps and loading in trailers, and things like that. So that's really what we're working on, and that's the purpose of this exercise.
I hope this was helpful for you. Press like and comment below.